Hey, what's up, guys? Steve here. I want to talk to you about something I've been noticing for the last God knows how long, and that's about commercials. Commercials about different medications, whether it be for arthritis or fibromyalgia or constipation or psoriasis, or what else have I seen? Type 2 diabetes. So many different commercials. A lot of commercials for Trintellix, an antidepressant. So many different medications that are being approved by the FDA and advertised on television, even on the radio. And it all sounds great, and they portray these people, these actors, as having such a great time and how their medication has improved them tremendously on TV. And you see them with happy smiles and living a symptom-free life, yada yada yada. And then you get to the fun part, the end of the commercial, which they're legally, I guess, obligated to post the side effects, or at least some of them. And you have things like depression, changes in mood, suicidal thoughts or actions. And I'm sitting here, and that's just like one of 20-day lists. How is it that something for constipation is going to give you depression or change of mood or agitation or suicidal thoughts or actions? That makes no sense. How is something that's supposed to help your diabetes going to change your mood or give you suicidal thoughts or depression? Amongst the other long list of things like swelling of hands, face, tongue, or feet, shit like that. It scares me. It scares me how many drugs are being approved by the FDA that are inducing mental disorder, mental psychoactive, psychiatric side effects. Why does this keep happening? Why? How is this getting by? And people wonder why the rate of depression, the rate of anxiety, the rate of mood disorders is increasingly rising each year, exponentially. Just my own personal note, when I was in the hospital for my mini heart attack, I was the most active guy on the floor. I had the best possible heart attack possible. If you can have the best heart attack. I know that sounds funny, but that's what they told me. I got to walk around, and outside each patient's room was the nurse and their computer, and I got to take a peek at some of the patient's medications. And I'd say a good 75 to 80% of people who are on heart medications, blood thinners, and cholesterol medications, they were also on antidepressants. I don't think this is a coincidence. I really don't. I started taking cholesterol medications. I felt more depressed than I did when I wasn't on them. I was taking blood pressure medications when my blood pressure was fine, and I still felt depressed because of the medication. It's crazy. If you wrap your head around it, it's crazy to think that all these medications are being used every day, probably by thousands or millions of people, and depression is a accepted side effect. It makes my head spin. It makes my head fucking spin. depression is the number one cause of disability in the United States. And I'm not surprised now when you have several hundreds, maybe thousands of medications that depression is a side effect. No fucking wonder why half of the 40% of people are on some type of antidepressant or have been on some type of antidepressant, and 40% of people who are on disability because of depression. Let that sink in. It's sad. So be careful what you take and be careful what your doctor's giving to you. Try and go somewhat of a natural route, if at all possible. Because, man, I know some people react differently to different medications and different treatments. But if you're pushing a drug, if you're pushing a medication how the fuck is it approved by the FDA? That is, one of its number one side effects is depression, suicidal thoughts, the change in mood. Come on, guys. It's fucking clear as day. There's something wrong with the system. I think it's all greed. I think it's all money. I think it's all the FDA getting their pockets stuffed by pharmaceutical companies. It's fucking sad. That's my rant for now. I'm sure I'll have another one later. But just be mindful of what you're putting into your body and how you felt before you took your medication and how you felt after you took your medication. Is it really worth all the side effects? Is life really that unbearable before you took X, Y, and Z medications? Anyways, guys, that's my video for now. Really be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Be mindful of what the side effects are. I'm not meaning to provoke anyone's anxiety or anyone's depression. I'm just meaning to open people's eyes. And hopefully you can learn from this video. Hope you guys are doing well. Keep your heads up. Keep fighting and keep surviving. I'll see you in the next one. Be well.